Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Shout out to my friend Bill Roy, gave me this lovely shirt with a praying mantis with the boxing gloves. And with it, he gave me a weapon known as the Chinese cudgel. 5 feet, metal on the end. Sometimes you'll see them made out of metal. You'll see demonstrations with lighter, non-weapon versions of these that are easier to spin faster. I've only had it for 3 days. I'm learning a little bit of how to use it. With some fundamental drills, overhand grips, some basic things that I'm just now starting to learn how to do that I haven't practiced much in the 2 days that I've had it. Someday I'll learn how to use it. Now, that brings me to my post for today, my comments for today. Attribution versus plagiarism, Shu-ha-ri, style versus system. The flavor that I add to my Seidokan is my style. The system that I study is Seidokan. I learned it. I can't say I mastered it, but I got to a decent point at it, and at that point begin to make it my own and personalize it, which is why you'll see different instructors do things slightly differently. That's their style. But the core curriculum is still Seidokan. Which brings me to the third concept, style versus system, Shu-ha-ri, and then plagiarism versus attribution. There are a lot of people out in the world today who take a little this, create their own system, and they say, yeah, I created my own system. Okay, maybe they're a green belt here, brown belt there, might even be advanced black belt somewhere, and they're just blending things, and they say, okay, I'm no longer under so-and-so, my instructor, such and such an organization. I'm doing my own thing. God bless you. My question is, do you continue to properly give credit where you learned your stuff? And did you go to your instructor and say, hey, I'm going to break and do my own thing? In America, we don't have the same kind of, I guess I'll call it the honor code, but two guys who did it right. Nick Serio studied under William Chow and a bunch of other people, but while he was studying under William Chow, he was given a patch from William Chow, and Master Chow, Thunderbolt, told him, you go create your own Kempo now. You've learned everything. He was promoted, I think, to 5th Dan by William Chow, and then told to go and add whatever he wanted to his Kempo and make it his own, which he did. The other was Master Toma, our founder of Seidokan, who wanted to teach Americans and wanted to include the Shorin-ryu syllabus. He went to Master Uehara, who was his Motobu Udon-ti teacher, and Uehara said, you're welcome to do that. You will no longer be in my group. You'll have to do your own thing. Toma made that decision. They had an amicable split, remained friends, but Toma was no longer Uehara's senior student. He was now, I don't want to call it exiled or expatriated, but he was no longer directly under Uehara's tutelage. He was on his own to do his own thing. Great. Became a recognized master in his own right, as did Professor Serio. The list of people who have undercut the source, plagiarized sources without giving attribution to where they learned things, created their own made-up stuff on their own and promulgated as if they invented the wheel, is endless, so I won't even go into those. Stay true to your system. What you personalize as your style, that's you. If you add, as Carvajal Sensei does, his Iaido, he has a whole separate certification in that and is now licensed as a representative of his EI system in the United States. He doesn't call it Seidokan, that's his Iaido system. When Kurt Sieber teaches Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, which he studied for years with Iwara Sensei, he doesn't call it our Tweety. He relates it, but it's not Seidokan, it's Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, separate art. When Jody Paul was teaching me, he would often include his Shorinji Kempo, but he distinguished. This is Seidokan, this is Shorinji Kempo. All of the externalities, Chris Caggiano with his Muay Thai and studying a lot with Luis Morales, who is Hokama Sensei's senior student, is incorporating things he's learned there and enhancing his Tweety. He doesn't call their Tweety or Morales' Goju-ryu Seidokan. He teaches Seidokan, but he attributes the added flavors to the instructors that he learned it from. That is right and proper. But to take something that was not yours, pretend you came up with it, and ignore or cut yourself off from your sources and previous teachers without respectfully going to them and doing so in an honorable way with integrity is disturbing, wrong, disgusting. To an extent, it's the American way, but it's not the martial art or the karate way. That's my rant for today. I've done 2 other versions of this. One was 20 minutes long and the last one was 16. I'm going to keep it short. That's my thoughts for the day. Next week, we will look some more at my dojo's style of Seidokan. Until then, thanks for joining. Like, share, subscribe, hit the buttons, call your mom, and Happy New Year. But most importantly, let's keep practicing.